August, and I was in the backyard doing yard work, and I noticed some movement in the woods behind our cottage. So I went in a little bit to get a better look and saw what looked like children. And I thought, can't be children. There were no children around here. But as I got closer, I realized that it was in fact children. And they were gnawing on trees. And so then I ran back and called my husband and said, "You've got to see this. There are children eating bark off the trees in our backyard."
Yeah, and that was pretty upsetting when I saw these kids, because I realized that I must have killed over 100 beavers thinking they were destroying our trees.
You should probably delete that part, but
I just couldn't believe it. Like,
when you saw
when I saw these kids eating bark, they just couldn't get enough of it. I mean, and this is how they lived. No kid should have to live this way, even if they are a hillbilly kid, right? Where we tried to get them to come out of the woods.
Yeah, I tried to wave them in, and they did follow. Then I don't know what spooked them.
Well, they've probably never seen people before, right? Well, with straight teeth.
Maybe. We tried to bring them in, but they ran away.
It's almost like they didn't want to leave. Like, they love bark so much.
But then, that's when I got the idea of how to maybe draw them in. So I pulled a piece of bark off the tree and waved it a bit, and they followed me. So I just kept doing that and waving them in, and then they crossed the bridge with us.
Well, yeah, remember that? They just ran off again.
Right, but that's why I used the bark, and then they came back. And
so, well, you had to run back into the woods.
Right.
And I think you got bark in both hands. And, to really draw them in.
Right.
We told them, actually, we'd make bark soup or something.
Well, no, like I said, when I told them that we had even more woods to the side, they just started leaping. They were so excited. So, anyway. Brought them to the door, and they didn't know how to open the door, so I opened the door and
it was
told
almost
them to come in.
It was almost like they'd never seen a door before.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they had, but anyway, we brought them in and took them over by the wood stove.
Remember
the baby.
That? Yeah.
Father didn't
brutal.
want to be filmed.
Yeah.
So.
But that kid never had a chance. Look at the teeth on it. So we decided, you know what, we need to connect with them. So we started playing their music, and it really connected. And then we brought them around the fireplace, remember that? And they were starting to warm up, and they just started, it's almost like they started to smile. You get to see those beautiful hillbilly smiles. It just melts your heart. Especially that little guy there. Huh.
Then you taught them numerology.
Oh man, yeah, we started playing some games with them, and it just seemed to break that whole wall. And they just loved it. It was just so amazing to see kids finally having fun and not have to scavenge through the woods to just find a piece of bark in order to live. I remember this last part where it just was so touching to see them and just smiling on the couch.
Yeah, snuggling.
Snuggling, and it just...
I think one of them did start to gnaw on the wooden armrest, but I offered some food, and I really don't think that's going to be a problem again. But they are actually going to come and live with us.
It's a day I'll never forget. Ever forget. The trees. I must have killed like
100 beavers, thinking that it was.
easily 100 beaver. But then
Then we realized it was these children.
I see these kids just couldn't get enough of the trees. It was just like they thought the trees were barkalicious. I remember I came back and I saw these kids just devouring trees, and
I'm sorry. You can delete that part.
I don't know how many.
No, it was good. We did well. Okay, we'll cut that. Now, go as we are, and you say, I remember.
I remember it too, and I don't know how many beavers I killed.